We have a tremendous abundance of energy, more than any country. We have, just in Alaska alone, ANWR has been reopened now. ANWR is probably the largest find anywhere in the world. They say it's larger than Saudi Arabia. I don't know, but it's a lot. But we have tremendous amounts of energy. Other countries don't.
All right. Abundance of energy. We also have an abundance of imports from Canada of important energy. But joining us now, Interior Secretary, Mr. Doug Burgum. Secretary, always great to see you. You know, I was reading your Twitter X, ending taxpayer subsidies for these crazy offshore wind projects, which never made a single bit of sense. And on top of that, I want to ask you, let's end all these subsidies. Let's kill off the whole Inflation Reduction Act. I don't even know if that's legal. I'd impound it. I don't even know if impoundment is legal, although I know in his heart Russ Vought would love to impound. The other thing is, how about killing off that California waiver, right? They want to end gasoline-powered cars in the next 5 or 8 years. Let's kill off the waiver, which passed the House. I don't know if it can pass the Senate. What do you think about killing off all these terrible things, Mr. Burgum?
Well, first of all, let's start with California, Larry. That would be a great idea because there's 14 other states that followed California. So basically, we're stuck right now. Automakers feel like they've got to build two kinds of cars in America, one for California standards, one for the rest of the country. And of course, we know that the California standards are based on a bunch of falsehoods around emissions. Because if we want zero carbon fuels, it's much cheaper. It's 10 to 15 times cheaper to have zero carbon liquid fuels than it is to subsidize EVs. The EV subsidies were the real bank, was the thing that was really breaking the bank. Over $900 for an avoided ton of CO2, and all of that built around climate ideology, when the real energy emergency that we have right now is that we don't have enough energy in this country. We're losing the AI arms race to China, and we've got to have more energy and more power right now in the country. And so that's one of the things that we're focused on right now, absolutely.
Will you, in fact, kill off those subsidies for these crazy offshore windmills? Nobody likes that stuff. In fact, if you're a greenie, I mean, all those things do. They kill birds, they upset the whales, they beach the whales. Even the state of New Jersey, which wanted all that climate change nonsense, whales were up on the shore of the Garden State, which used to have nice shores but don't anymore. Can you stop all that? You're an important guy. You're the Interior Secretary. You run the Energy Dominance Council in the White House, or whatever you're calling it. You got to stop that stuff, Mr. Burgum.
Well, we've put both through the president's executive order and us following it up at the departmental level. We're reviewing all of the offshore permitting that occurred under the Biden administration. I think one of the things that people need to understand is the cost of offshore wind is triple what it is for onshore. And they're all built by foreign companies. There's no American company. This isn't about American companies or American jobs. And what people don't realize is billions of tons of rock are poured into the ocean before they can even begin the years of pile driving. And the pile driving have got a sonar, creates sonar experience for the fish and for the whales that could be highly detrimental. I mean, we've uncovered a report that it was never released to the public, where they fast-tracked the Empire Wind project off of New Jersey, and the biological report, even from the Biden biologist, showed that this thing lacked total rigor. And so there's, in an effort to chase an ideology, they were approving stuff that was, bad for the fish, bad for the whales, and expensive for the customers. And I mean, in terms of raising the cost of electricity. And also, we saw what happened in Spain this last week. If you try to build a grid that's based on solar and wind, 100%, they were celebrating shutting down their last coal mine in Spain on April 12th. They were celebrating the next week that they'd achieved 100% renewable, which means intermittent energy. And then the next week, 60 million people were out of power, and people were stranded in subways, and they were struggling to keep their hospitals open. The grid is the mother of all networks, and we've got to take care of our grid because it powers all the other computer networks, the air traffic control system, the transportation networks. We've got to have a grid that's reliable, and one way to do that is to make sure that we've got baseload power that's affordable and runs 24 hours a day.
So we got to save those New Jersey whales in particular. I'm keeping an eye on that. But your last sentence there, baseload power. Baseload power, I reckon, Governor Burgum, Secretary Burgum, sorry. Baseload power in the next 50 to 100 years. Natural gas and nuclear. Natural gas and nuclear, which the Biden administration completely opposed, which the radical greenies completely opposed, right? Natural gas. How about that Alaska pipeline that's going to bring in a lot of natural gas, right? Isn't that fair? The real baseload, next 50 to 100 years, natural gas and nuclear, sir. I mean, anybody, well, you tell me. You're the expert. I'm not. What do I know? But I'm still worried about the New Jersey whales. But the baseline, I think that's an important point. Last 30 seconds.
If you're worried about the New Jersey whales, then you should know this is the second time that fossil fuels have saved the whales, because the only energy that humans have ever transitioned off of was whale oil back in the 1800s.
Yes.
And then kerosene came along and we saved the whales then, and now we can save them now, because liquid natural gas, LNG, it's what's helping us bring peace at home and peace abroad and prosperity at home. It is going to be the baseload fuel we need for the next 5 years. Then nuclear comes in, but there's great breakthroughs coming in geothermal. Hydro is great baseload. Wind and solar is not. On the day that President Trump got inaugurated, 92% of the power in America on January 20th, or at least in the PJM grid on the East Coast, was coming from nuclear and fossil fuels. 0 from solar, because it was 5 a.m. and 2% from wind. We don't need an energy transition. We need energy addition, and we need that with baseload.
Secretary, I've only got, the producers are screaming at me, but I don't get to talk to you as much as I used to, because you're a highfalutin position now. 30 seconds, sir, 30 seconds. President Trump's putting secondary sanctions on Iranian oil. Great idea. How about secondary sanctions on all of Russian oil? Just 30 seconds, Mr. Burgum. What do you think?
It'd be a great idea. The failed sanctions of the Biden administration turned Russia and Iran into China's discount gas station. And China's been running their economy on discounted oil for the last 3 years. And it's time we put a stop to that. So a great idea.
Music to my ears. I like that even better than the New Jersey whales. Senator, I made you a senator now. Secretary Doug Burgum, we appreciate it very much. Maybe you're going